welcome to the India AI Impact Summit. I'm Shireen Bhan. We're coming to you live from the epicenter of all the action. The conversations are going to happen here as global tech leaders converge over the next few days to discuss what an AI-led future is going to look like. The man who's been working behind the scenes to make all of this happen, Abhishek Singh, thank you very much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. I was just telling you that this looks almost like a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, it's in fact bigger than that, and we are seeing people of all ages coming in. We are trying to make as comfortable for them with the golf carts and everything. The people should not feel inconvenienced, and they should be able to enjoy the session. They'll be able to visit the expo, which will begin officially from tomorrow after the inauguration this evening. But we have tried to make everything comfortable. But yes, the numbers are huge. The sessions are live on YouTube also. So those who are not getting a space in the rooms, they can also watch them on YouTube.
In terms of investments, in terms of announcements, in terms of the strategy and the way forward, what should we realistically expect?
See, we've been working for a long time for preparing for this summit. So of course, the sessions and the events and the expo exhibition will be there. But we are also working towards ensuring that some tangible outcomes comes in. So we had 7 working groups which work together for all the deliverables. We are very near to the agreement on all of it, which will announce in the working group meetings on the 18th and the main leaders summit that will happen on the 19th. But by and large, it will be a vision for AI for tomorrow, how different countries can share knowledge, can share expertise, how we can build up an AI narrative for the global south, how we can create global AI commons, how we can build tools for ensuring safe and trustworthy AI. And for India in particular, there will be certain announcements with regard to investments in AI, how the funds or the investors will kind of put money in Indian startups, in Indian AI ecosystem. We may also hear some announcement, with some we have already heard, from Google like 15 billion and Microsoft 17.5, Amazon 35. So we will be able to, I hope that there will be many more MOUs and many more agreements, investment commitments by big tech, by Indian companies also, who will be investing in AI, who will be expanding the compute. So in the next few days, I am looking forward to hearing a lot of announcements from industry, from both outside and within India.
You know, this summit is happening at a time when the world order as we know it is being disrupted. In fact, one would say that we're in a state of disarray, almost disorder. In an environment like that, when you talk about commons, when you talk about collaboration, where nations are fighting for tech sovereignty, where do you find the middle path? Where do you find space for collaboration?
See, collaboration is there, like whenever you talk about using AI for social good, like for example, if you have to use AI for improving healthcare, or if you have to use AI for improving education or improving lives of people, more countries agree to that, we can collaborate on that. Just like the DPI story, we are trying to build up on the AI story. Then similarly, when you talk about building tools for ensuring safe and trusted AI, there is agreement for building this. When there is a talk about how data sets can be made available to researchers, there is agreement on that. When we talk about how AI can ensure inclusion, there is agreement about that. How AI can work for countries wherein the models might not have been developed, there is agreement around that. So while there is a lot of disruption about every country wanting to do their own sovereign AI, but when they do sovereign AI, the benefits of it, if they can be shared with the larger global community, there is a lot of agreement on those aspects.
Well, speaking of sovereign AI, we are going to see the release of our sovereign AI model. Sarvam is going to be launching its sovereign AI model this evening. Now, what is going to be the purpose, what is going to be the priority of how India chooses to use its sovereign model?
See, the priority of the government, as far as the government is concerned, it will be to ensure that we use Indian sovereign models trained on Indian data sets that work in Indian languages and have the Indian cultural context in mind to ensure access to public services for all. Build voice-enabled services for people who can't navigate a website or download an app and still be able to access public information or services or benefits by using the voice command. Improve governance by using voice as a medium to reach out citizens. Ensure that we are able to democratize access to information. So many of these applications Sarvam will be launching, and many more are in the pipeline, whether it's Bharat Gen or Socket or Gyani or GAN, they are also working on such solutions. As we move forward, Sarvam will be the first foundation model, but I hope that there will be at least 6 to 7 more that we'll be seeing in the next few months.
You know, when we talk about the AI infrastructure layer, and it starts with infrastructure and of course then goes up to applications, and the question being asked is, where is India going to find its place? Where does India find its niche? It is a battle currently between the US and China largely as far as the AI wars are concerned. Where will India find its place? Where should India find its place?
Like if you look at the 5-layered compute, which our Honorable Minister explained very well at Davos, you'll see that when it comes to the energy layer or when it comes to the data center compute layer, we are very well ahead. Like the cost of building a data center in India is almost half the cost of building a data center anywhere else in the world. Similarly, when it comes to energy, the energy sufficiency, we are surplus with energy, we have more renewable energy sources than anywhere else in the world. Then only on the chip layer, we are working on it, where we are currently dependent on companies like NVIDIA. If you come to the foundation model layers, we were dependent, but now we are having our own foundation model layer. And when it comes to the applications layer, which is the top layer, building applications, use cases in various sectors, there we are very well advanced. So out of the 5 layers, at 4 layers we are there, and on the chip layer we'll be there in 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, you believe that we'll be there?
Yes, I do. We do have the design capability. We just heard about how Indian origin engineers designed a chip for Qualcomm a few weeks back. So there are many Indian design companies, and with the government incentive with the DLI scheme, there is capability, and I'm sure that the design of the chips will happen in India in the next 3 to 5 years, and the actual tape outs may also happen very soon.
You know, the big headline at this point in time, and we're seeing this globally, is the tech sell-off. People are calling it the SaaS-pocalypse, and that is the big concern when we talk about Indian IT services companies. How worried are you as a policymaker, and do you believe that this is a fear that Indian industry needs to be prepared for?
Of course, the stock market movement should not impact long-term strategy and long-term planning. So these things keep on happening in the markets. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That will happen. But looking at the Indian industry, we need to look at the opportunity that is coming in the AI transformation services. Of course, business will not be as usual. With the disruption that AI is causing, there will be need for building more capability into agentic AI, there will be need for building in more capability into physical AI, edge AI, providing AI transformational services, building agentic AI capabilities. A lot of skilling, reskilling requirements will be there, and Indian IT industry is planning to address that gap from what I have heard from all of them. So while there might be feeling that in short term, some services are getting disrupted, but in the long term it will lead to creation of more value, because the strength that we have is our talent, and no other country will have as many companies and as many engineers building AI transformation services.
But as a policymaker and as a regulator, again the worry is that we need jobs in this country. We're showcasing humanoids and robotic arms and so on and so forth, and nobody's saying slow down technology. But how do you actually ensure the safeguards are in place? How do you actually ensure that there isn't wide-scale disruption as far as industry is concerned, so that jobs don't disappear?
When I see these humanoids and when I see the robots, I see an opportunity of creating jobs for building these robots, designing these robots, engineering these robots. And while in India we may feel that we don't need these robots because we have enough number of people to do work, but globally there will be a demand for robots, and I see a demand for robots going up in the next few years. And if we build in capacity of building those robots, manufacturing these robots, there's a huge opportunity there. And those students, those people who are seeking jobs, if they skill themselves in this field, these jobs will be there. So across evolution, you see, while some job roles become obsolete, new job roles come in. So like, for example, forward deployment engineers, agentic AI, edge AI, physical AI, these jobs will be created. The question will be that how do we adapt to the changing environment and leverage the emerging opportunities by skilling our workforce, ensuring that we become the go-to place when any country is thinking of AI, when they're thinking of outsourcing AI services.
Finally, you talked about the reasons why you feel optimistic about where India is positioned at this point in time. What would your concerns be today?
My concerns, of course, is whether we'll be able to keep pace with the new jobs which is there. So the skilling, reskilling, how do the universities adapt to them? How do we do training of teachers? How do we build skills in the faculty? How quickly we change the curriculum? So those things sometimes take a lot of time. So while the opportunities are there, if we don't leverage them, it can be a bit challenging. Number two, very often the amount of money that is being poured into the AGI, especially globally, the paybacks will be challenging for that sector. That is why in India we are not chasing AGI. We are trying to limit it to building AI services that can be sustained, that can create revenues. And then again, the misuse of AI. How do we build consensus around the world with regard to ensuring that all the frontier AI labs comply to these requirements? How do we ensure that if suppose we saw what Grok did a few weeks back. So how do we build that capability, and how do we ensure that regulatory capacity is expanded and we are able to meet the challenges that are coming in?